all you need to know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business. Good morning. This is the daily morning update from Bloomberg Quint, and I'm Alex Matthew. Today is the 19th of June. I'm going to start today by telling you about the key international news because that has already had a bearing on markets globally, and it could impact our markets as well. For weeks now, we've been speaking about the trade war between the US and China. A while back, the talks between the two economic superpowers stalled, with the US accusing China of trying to change their deal at the last minute. A potential meeting between Presidents Donald Trump and Xi Jinping was being billed as the olive branch, or the catalyst, that could restart talks. After much speculation about whether the two leaders would indeed meet at the upcoming G20 summit in Japan, Trump cleared the air. Last night, he tweeted that he had had a very good telephonic conversation with Xi and that the two of them would be having an extended meeting next week in Japan. He also said that teams from the US and China would begin talks prior to their meeting. US stocks, which have been under a little bit of strain in the recent past, rose sharply. The Dow and the Nasdaq rose close to 1.4%, while the S&P 500 climbed about 1%. European markets had earlier in the day risen sharply after comments by European Central Bank head Mario Draghi. The German DAX and the CAC 40 in France rose over 2%, while the FTSE in London ended higher by 1.2%. With little more than 4 months to go on his job, Draghi all but pledged new stimulus for Europe's slowing economy that may include both interest rate cuts and asset purchases. US President Donald Trump wasn't pleased with the announcement. A tweet by him read, and I quote, "Mario Draghi just announced more stimulus could come, which immediately dropped the euro against the dollar, making it unfairly easier for them to compete against the USA. They have been getting away with this for years, along with China and others." Unquote. Just to close the loop on international markets, the three early risers in Asia are also trading strongly positive in the early hours of trade today. In news back home, the Reserve Bank of India has imposed a penalty of 1 crore rupees on HDFC Bank for not complying with Know Your Customer and anti-money laundering norms. The central bank said customs authorities had alerted them about certain importers submitting forged bills of entry to the bank instead of remitting foreign currency. The Reserve Bank of India will examine concerns over its data localization norms. That's what the government says a day after Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal had consultations with the e-commerce and tech industries on data protection and privacy in India. Remember, the RBI had last year asked fintech startups and payments firms to ensure that data is stored exclusively on local servers, setting a tight 6-month deadline for compliance. The deadline was said to have been missed by some foreign firms, including credit card giants Visa and MasterCard. Maharashtra has projected a higher revenue deficit for 2019-20 in the budget presented by Finance Minister Sudhir Mungantiwar. The revenue deficit is estimated to be 20,293 crore rupees in the ongoing financial year, compared with 14,960 crore rupees in the previous fiscal, according to budget estimates. All right, with that, it's time for Darshan Mehta to talk to you about the Indian markets and how they're setting up at the start of today. Morning, Darshan. How are we looking? All the international markets are looking positive.
Hi Alex, good morning. Good morning everyone. Yes, you're right. Global cues are looking good. First of all, the comments coming in from Mario Draghi and then the tweets from Donald Trump. And most of the Asian markets have also come up with a positive start. The SGX Nifty currently is up 60 points, indicating that we will have a positive outlook. But some of the stocks that you need to watch out for. Watch out for PNB. The Basel III compliant Tier 1 bonds are worth 6,750 crores have been downgraded by one notch by India Ratings. NMDC, decent set of numbers. That's the production numbers I'm talking about. They produced 3.04 MT iron ore in May, versus 2.12 last time around, and sales were at 3.37 million tons versus 2.31 last time around. They reported robust sales and production that was driven by both Chhattisgarh and Karnataka. There's a sharp jump that's seen in Karnataka despite production outage at Donimalai. Edelweiss is of the opinion that Donimalai as well as commissioning of the steel plant is an overhang for the stock. Canara Bank will be in focus. The board permits stake sale in Canfin Homes depending on the appropriate market condition. In terms of bulk deals, Kobe Steel yesterday sold in 12 lakh shares of MAN Industries. The promoters bought in the same. Bharat Forge will be in focus. CLSA maintains a sell but cut the target price to 390 from the earlier 420. They're saying that there is a risk of a simultaneous slowdown in the key three segments that they operate, and these segments include industrial exports, truck exports and domestic trucks. Goldman Sachs has downgraded JSW Steel to a neutral and cut the target price by 9% to 296. The downgrade is due to weaker steel spreads and clarity on iron ore pricing as well as leverage. They reinstate a buy on Tata Steel with a target price of 570, and they say that Tata Steel is better placed due to its high level of iron ore integration. And finally, UBS has raised the target price on Titan to 1600 from the earlier 1250. They are saying an aggressive growth strategy and flawless execution keeps UBS bullish on the same. They are saying that the upside fair value is of 1800 and the downside fair value is 900 for the stock. But there's much more you need to know before trade actually starts. For that, log on to our website bloombergquint.com and click on the All You Need to Know tab, and you will be prepared for morning trade.
Thanks, Darshan. Well, that's all we have for you on this podcast, but as always, there's a lot more on the website bloombergquint.com, so don't forget to check it out. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a lovely day.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you can listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma. Or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.